Thank you so much again for accepting our Familia and Comunidad award, Mr. Martinez. We greatly appreciate all the work that you've done in the community.
Now, I really need to thank you, Mr. Director. The Latino Center of the Midlands has been around since the early 1970s. At that time, the Chicano Awareness Center, and so I'm humbled. I'm a guy that grew up about 3 minutes from here and to Catholic grade school not too far at St. Agnes and South High School, which I'm very proud, right down the street. So for an organization like this that does so many great things for so many years, to recognize me and think I've done a couple things that to deserve an award is humbling.
At the Latino Center, we pride ourselves with the youth that we serve. We serve a little over 500 kids in 3 districts in 7 different schools. The kids that we serve bring many great gifts to the community and to their families, and as up-and-comers that will be entering the workforce in the next few years, what advice do you have for them, given that you're someone who has excelled professionally and with your family and with your faith?
A couple of things I think I would tell young people. First and foremost, who's your higher power, and to keep your higher power, or keep God close to your heart, and grow in that area first and foremost. I think another one would be honesty with self. You know, make certain that whatever you're doing on a day-to-day basis, whatever decisions you're making, whatever you're involved with in any aspect of your life, to make certain that you think about it and to be honest with yourself, to look in the mirror and say, is this the best thing for me, regardless of what it is. I think look into the future. As young people, as you know, sometimes we can't see past our nose when we're younger. But I tell young people, make certain you're thinking about the future. That helps with good development, good decision making. And I think lastly, helping others.
That's excellent advice, and I hope the young folks that we serve listen to it and adhere to it. Um, Given your professional experience in law enforcement and the times that we're living in, where there's some tension, what are some of the areas that you're optimistic about within law enforcement and building the community's trust?
Well, certainly we're in challenging times right now. And I obviously wear a couple of hats. I've got my law enforcement hat that I'll wear forever, but I'm also, I wear other hats, a community hat, obviously a Latino hat. I think it's incumbent upon law enforcement to, regardless of if there's a major incident that has taken place, like we're seeing now, or whether it's a good time, whether it's things are relatively good between community and police. I think it's incumbent upon law enforcement to make certain that we continually try to think of ways to build public trust and confidence. A quick example, the PACE program started by our Latino Peace Officers Association. What started as just a few kids being encouraged by a police officer to get involved with, competition, a baseball game, has developed into PACE, a nonprofit, with law enforcement officers serving as coaches, as mentors to some 5,000 or 6,000 young people. That's just one aspect in the athletic arena. There's so many more things law enforcement can do on a day-to-day basis. And get out of that cruiser, knock on a door every single day, pick a house in the neighborhood and say, I'm Officer so-and-so. I'm Officer Mark Martinez. How are things going? I just wanted to introduce you. If we have uniformed officers doing that every day, boy, that's going to build public trust like crazy.
As a community volunteer, I imagine you have many fond experiences, but can you pick one that comes to mind as a community volunteer that is especially special for you?
So my father was a police officer, and I have an uncle that began his career shortly after that. And they had an opportunity to be involved in the police athletic league at Indian Hills At that time, it was a junior high or middle school. And my dad used to take my brothers and I along, and we could see that relationship with my father and my uncle and young people and how positive it was. And so my brother, my older brother Al, who's also an Omaha police officer, and I had the opportunity to participate in the police athletic league at Indian Hills Junior High years later, and that was special.
Well, thank you so much again, Mr. Martinez. You are a legend. Thank you so much, you and your family, and Omaha is very fortunate to have you.
Thank you so much. You're too kind.